in conversations at your table, I'm guessing you would have come up with something that looks sort of like this. So why aren't we having these conversations? We're worried about conflict. Yep, we're worried about escalation, we're worried about arguments, we don't want to get in fight with people. We're worried about conflict, we're concerned about the response of the other person. How are they going to feel about things? Perhaps we don't want to shame them, we don't want them to be upset. We're genuinely concerned about their welfare. Perhaps we don't have the level of capability we think we need to engage in these very difficult conversations. We're just not equipped, remember? We're not getting enough practice, so we don't usually do them well when we get to them. And then we've got things like time. We hope time will take care of it. We know from Phil, time does not help you. We are worried about the uncertainty of the outcome. We don't know what's going to happen as a result of this. Particularly in a climate like today, we've got things escalating online, things blowing up overnight, we've got lawsuits happening. Like, the potential is really uncertain in terms of the negative consequence. And then we've got this piece around permission. This is a really interesting one. So often I have people say to me, Anneli, I really want to give this person feedback, or I need to make this statement known, but I don't feel like it's my place. You know, I'm not this person's manager, I'm not their partner, I'm not a heavyweight in the industry. Who am I to put this on the table? Should I put this on the table? And my advice to them is yes. Does it have to do with you and them? Is it important to you? Does it affect you? This is not about them and their workplace performance that you don't care anything about. No, if it interacts with you and it affects you, then yes, you have permission to put it on the table. So a client of mine, we'll call her Jen, she had a situation where she was dealing with a colleague of hers where every time they were in a team meeting together, he would constantly cut her off and talk over the top of her. And she felt herself pulling back and shutting down to the point where she was just invisible. She no longer contributed to those meetings. And she realised that she was waiting for the manager to say something, to handle it. But the manager didn't. And the impact was affecting her and her career. So she thought, all right, well, this is a personal issue. This is important to me. I may not be his boss, but I am a colleague and I want to have the conversation. So she took him out for coffee. She gave him the feedback. It didn't go very well. To be honest, it went very badly. He did not see where she was coming from. He did not agree with what she was saying, and he ignored her for 2 days. This is the danger of social isolation that I was talking about. So he gave her the silent treatment for 2 days. She said at the end of that second day, I was running through my mind all the ways that I was going to change my mind and say to him it wasn't really that important and it doesn't really matter, and I guess lots of other people do it as well. Let's just forget we had the conversation. She was unable to hold the discomfort. But by the time she got to work on the third morning, he turned up and he said, look, I've had to think about what you said, and I'm still not sure I agree with what you're saying, but I'm willing to have a further conversation about it. Can we go for a coffee? That's a pretty good result. That's a pretty good result.